听你的口音好像台湾人。Hello everybody, welcome to another exciting episode of Gibbon Travelogue. I'm Lilian.
And I'm Gilbert.
And today we're...
Nagasaki. As you know, Nagasaki is one of the big cities in Kyushu, and it is full of history. We have the atomic bomb drop on this place, and we also have the hidden Christian. Are you ready to explore this place, Lilian?
Yes.
Okay, let's go this way. This is the fifth and final video of our road trip in Kyushu series. In our last episode, we were in Kumamoto, where we explored the mighty Mount Aso, Kumamoto Castle, and also the spectacular Takachiho Gorge. Now we continue westward into a city unlike any other in Japan, Nagasaki. Nagasaki is unique. For centuries, it was Japan's window to the outside world, receiving traders, missionaries, and ideas from other parts of Asia and Europe. It was here that Christianity first entered Japan, sparking both mass conversions and fierce persecution. It was here that foreign trade and Western knowledge filtered into a closed-off Japan during the Edo period. And tragically, it was here that the second atomic bomb fell on 9th August 1945. Our first stop is a monastery built by Saint Maximilian Kolbe, Seibo-no-Kishi Monastery. Saint Maximilian Kolbe was a Polish Franciscan friar who came to Japan in the 1930s. He later returned to Poland, where, during the Second World War, he offered his life in Auschwitz, volunteering to die in place of another prisoner. He was canonized in 1982 by Pope John Paul II and always remembered for his words, "Without sacrifice, there is no love." A little miracle here. When Maximilian Kolbe was here in Japan, he decided to build the monastery on a hillside facing out of Nagasaki, against the advice of locals who favoured facing the city centre. That decision proved providential. When the atomic bomb detonated, the monastery was shielded by the mountains, even though it lay within the blast zone. When it was founded, Seibo-no-Kishi consisted of a chapel, monastery buildings, and a printing workshop. Both monastery and chapel still exist today and are open to visitors. Within the monastery grounds, there is a small museum dedicated to St. Kolbe's mission in Japan. Up in the chapel, there's a relic of St. Maximilian, taken from his beard, which was shaved in 1940 before he was arrested and sent to Auschwitz. Pope St. John Paul II visited Seibo-no-Kishi Monastery in February 1981 during his apostolic journey to Japan and prayed at this chapel. From faith, we turn to devastation. The Nagasaki Atomic Bomb Museum is one of the most sobering places in Japan. The museum, opened in 1996, is not just a collection of exhibits, but a place of remembrance and warning. This is the Atomic Bomb Museum. Just arrived here at around 5:30. We were told that it's going to be closed at 6:30, so we only have less than an hour to explore this place. It tells the story of August the 9th, 1945, when at 11:02 in the morning, Nagasaki was reduced to ruins in an instant. Out of a population of 240,000, around 75,000 were killed immediately or soon after, and another 75,000 were left injured, many suffering lifelong effects from burns and radiation. The museum begins with fragments of daily life, roof tiles warped by heat, a child's lunchbox reduced to charred remains, a rosary fused by the blast. Each object represents a life suddenly interrupted. One of the most haunting items is a clock, its hands frozen at the exact moment of detonation. Photographs, models, survivor testimonies help visitors understand not only the scale of destruction, but also the human suffering. Visitors describe the firestorms, the black radioactive rain, and the silence of a city where tens of thousands had vanished. The final sections of the museum look outward, toward the global threat of nuclear weapons today. Exhibits stress that Nagasaki should be the last place ever to endure such devastation. There is one thing though that is quite glaring. Japan's role as an aggressor in the war is totally left unspoken. That evening, we visit a prominent shopping mall in Nagasaki called Yume Town Yume Sato, and dinner is at a place called Ishigamaya Hamburger.
Longer and thicker. It's just eating my sausage.
After dinner, we check into the Hilton Nagasaki, getting some good rest before another day of exploration. This is Hilton in Nagasaki. Ooh. The next morning, we visit the monument of the 26 Martyrs of Japan. The monument of the 26 Martyrs of Japan stands on Nishizaka Hill overlooking Nagasaki. In February 1597, 26 Christians, 6 foreign missionaries and 20 Japanese believers were executed here under the orders of the warlord Toyotomi Hideyoshi. Among them was the Jesuit seminarian Paul Miki, who preached forgiveness from the cross, declaring that he bore no hatred for his captors and that he rejoiced in dying for Christ. The monument, unveiled in 1962, features bronze figures of the martyrs mounted against a stone wall. Their arms are raised not only in crucifixion, but in witness. At its center, Paul Miki stands tall, still proclaiming the faith that could not be silenced. I have to say, it is quite a touching experience reading through the names of those who were persecuted during those trying times. Beneath the hilltop monument lies the Museum of the 26 Martyrs of Japan, a place that preserves the memory of Christianity's early and turbulent history in Japan. Also opened in 1962, the museum was built to coincide with the canonization of the martyrs. Inside, the exhibits trace the story of Christianity's arrival in Japan with St. Francis Xavier in 1549. It also traces Christianity's rapid growth among samurai and commoners alike, and the subsequent waves of persecution. On display are original letters from missionaries, vestments and chalices smuggled into the country, and fragile manuscripts of catechisms translated into Japanese. There are also the fumie, bronze images of Christ or Mary, which people were forced to step on to prove they were not Christians. We also see notices offering silver coins for those who reported on priests and believers. One of the most moving sections is dedicated to the martyrs themselves. Relics, Portraits and historical records tell the story of the 26 men and boys who were marched from Kyoto to Nagasaki and crucified on this hill. The museum also sheds light on the hidden Christians or Kakure Kiristan, who carried their faith underground for more than 2 centuries. They disguised their prayers as Buddhist chants, venerated images of Mary disguised as the Buddhist goddess Kuan Yin or the Canon, and passed down their beliefs orally from generation to generation until they could reveal themselves again in the 19th century. For us Catholics, the Hill of the 26 Martyrs is sacred ground, a place of pilgrimage. And for all visitors, it is a place which reminds us of the resilience of belief in the face of oppression. 26 here. Including the boy. On the same Nishizaka Hill, the very site where the 26 martyrs were crucified, stands the Church of St. Philip Nishizaka. Built in 1962, the church is named after St. Philip of Jesus, a Mexican Franciscan friar and one of the 26 martyrs. Much of the funding of its construction came from donations by the Mexican faithful. Designed by architect Kenji Imai, the church bears the unmistakable influence of Antoni Gaudí, the Spanish master whose works include the Sagrada Familia in Barcelona. Inside, the church is serene and filled with light. The whitewashed interior provides a sense of purity, while the stained glass windows cast a soft glow that evokes both peace and reverence. Because of its unique design and its location at the heart of Japan's Christian history, the Church of St. Philip has been officially designated a landscape important building by Nagasaki City. Next, we head to Urakami Cathedral, once the largest church in East Asia. Standing today as one of the great landmarks of Nagasaki, Urakami Cathedral embodies both the strong suffering and the resilience of Japan's Christian community. The story of Urakami begins in the late 16th century when Jesuit missionaries brought Christianity to the region. Urakami village quickly became a stronghold of the faith, but with a ban on Christianity, believers here went underground. When the prohibition was finally lifted in 1873, 250 years later, thousands of Christians openly returned to the church. Their first great desire was to build a proper cathedral. After 3 decades of construction work, the original Urakami Cathedral, with its red brick Romanesque structure, was completed in 1925. Tragedy struck on 9th August 1945 when an atomic bomb detonated less than 500 meters from the cathedral. The blast reduced the cathedral to rubbles, killing 2 priests and 8,000 parishioners. In 1959, the community rebuilt the cathedral, this time in reinforced concrete and much simpler than the original. The cathedral was renovated in 1980 to restore its Romanesque style and twin towers, echoing the grandeur of the lost structure. From there, we visit Ōura Cathedral. Perched on a hill overlooking Nagasaki Harbour, Ōura Cathedral is the oldest standing Christian church in Japan and one of the country's most treasured cultural landmarks. The cathedral was built in 1864 by French missionaries at a time when Japan was just beginning to reopen after more than 2 centuries of isolation under the Tokugawa shogunate. The church was dedicated to the 26 martyrs of Japan. Designed in a Gothic style by a French priest, the cathedral was constructed by Japanese craftsmen using timber and locally made bricks. Its white walls, soaring spire, and pointed arches were unlike anything most Japanese had ever seen at that time. Ōura Cathedral became historically significant in 1865 when a group of hidden Christians from Urakami village approached the French priest Bernard Petichon and revealed their secret faith. Whispering the words, "Our hearts are the same as yours," they declare their belief in Christ and their longing for the Virgin Mary, This moment, known as the discovery of the hidden Christians, is considered one of the most extraordinary events in the history of Christianity in Japan. In 1933, it was designated as a national treasure, the first Western-style building in Japan to receive this honor. In 2018, together with related Christian sites in Nagasaki, it was recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Today, Ōura Cathedral remains an active parish church as well as a pilgrimage site. Next, outside the church on Glover Street, in St. Kolbe's first house in Nagasaki, After exploring the churches, we take a detour to Dejima Wharf. On the edge of Nagasaki's harbour lies Dejima Wharf, a lively waterfront promenade that blends history with modern charm. Though today it is lined with cafes, seafood restaurants and shops overlooking the bay, its location carries echoes of Nagasaki's unique role as Japan's gateway to the world. In the 17th century, Japan closed itself off from nearly all foreign contact under the Sakoku policy of the Tokugawa shogunate. Yet one small outpost remained open, Dejima, a fan-shaped artificial island built in 1636 in Nagasaki Bay. Originally constructed to confine Portuguese traders and prevent the spread of Christianity, it became, from 1641 onward, the exclusive base of the Dutch East India Company. For more than 2 centuries, Dejima was Japan's only window to the west. Behind its guarded gates, Dutch traders lived in tightly regulated quarters, their movements controlled, their ships inspected. Yet through this narrow channel flowed the latest in Western science, medicine, astronomy, cartography, and technology. This exchange, known as Runkaku, or Dutch learning, played a pivotal role in preparing Japan for its rapid modernization in the 19th century. Today, Dejima has been reconstructed with restored warehouses and residences, offering a glimpse into the daily life of the Dutch residents. Walking through its narrow lanes, visitors can imagine the tense yet vital exchanges that connected Japan to the wider world during its long era of isolation. In the evening, we unwind with shopping at Umegae Town and Amu Plaza, two of the city's largest malls, offering a wide range of stores and restaurants.
Okay, let's go. Let's go to the other side for the food.
We end the day with a small party back at our hotel.
Oh, so colourful,
The following day, we continue our historical journey at the Nagasaki Peace Park, built near the hypocenter of the atomic blast. The Peace Park is a solemn space dedicated to remembrance, reflection, and the pursuit of global harmony. Established in 1955, 10 years after the atomic bombing, the park occupies a site near the former Urakami prison, which was at the epicenter of the blast. The centerpiece of the park is a peace statue, a 10-meter bronze figure sculpted by the famous Japanese sculptor Seibo-no-Kishi. Its raised right hand points towards the threat of nuclear weapons, while the outstretched left hand symbolizes the wish for peace. The statue's closed eyes express prayer for the souls of all victims, and its posture, one leg folded in meditation and the other extended, represents readiness to act in service of humanity. Around the statue are numerous memorials donated by countries from around the world, reflecting Nagasaki's commitment to international solidarity and peace. One poignant example is a monument to commemorate Chinese victims of the atomic bombing, honoring the thousands of Chinese laborers who perished under forced conditions during the war. Nagasaki Peace Park is a reminder of the city's suffering, but also a symbol of hope and resilience. Just a short walk from the Nagasaki Peace Park lies the Hypocenter Park, a sombre site that marks the exact point where the atomic bomb detonated over the city on 9th August 1945. A black stone monolith stands at the center, indicating the Hypocenter. Hypocenter Park is stark in its simplicity, designed to focus attention on the scale of human loss and the destructive power of nuclear weapons. In this park, visitors can see the exact point where the city was torn apart. There are plaques recording the names and stories of victims. The park serves as both a memorial and an educational site, emphasizing the urgent need for peace and the non-proliferation of nuclear arms. Leaving the Peace Park and Hypocenter Park, with heavy hearts, we make our way back to Fukuoka. On the way to Fukuoka, we stop at a local whiskey distillery, Umegae Sake Brewery. Umegae Sake Brewery is a historic establishment that has been producing sake since 1787, the 7th year of the Tame era. Many of the brewery's buildings date back to the Edo period, and 7 of them were designated as tangible cultural properties of Japan in 2002. Among these preserved structures are the bottling plant, cellar, papeterie warehouse, and a storeroom from the Taisho period. Visitors can enjoy guided tours of the facilities, usually led by the Toji, or chief brewer, who explains the intricacies of sake production and showcase the historic architecture. Here we savor tastings of Japanese whiskey, which is celebrated for its smoothness and refined flavors.
Oh, nice! I like the yuzu.
It is the perfect opportunity to immerse ourselves in Japan's rich artisanal traditions. Naturally, no visit is complete without stocking up bottles to bring home. After leaving Umegae Sake Brewery, we continue our journey towards Fukuoka, enjoying the scenic landscapes that mark the end of our Kyushu adventure. As our road trip comes to a close, we carry the stories of resilient communities, centuries-old traditions, and landscapes that range from serene to awe-inspiring. Kyushu, in all its natural beauty and historical depth, has left an indelible mark on our journey. Thank you for joining us on this unforgettable adventure.
Okay, that's all, folks.
Hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a like, leave a comment for us, and subscribe to
Gibbon Travelogue.
Until our next video,
We
we'll
will
see you again. Bye! Matane!
Okay, let's go.